Long ago, the continent was draped in darkness. Its lands overrun by otherworldly monsters, rabid beasts most foul. A scourge and a plague, sowing destruction and reaping despair. Those who wished to end the plight took up arms against the wretched creatures. All of them brave, all noble, all doomed. Yet amid the anguish, there was still hope. Alzur and Liliana, mages committed to ridding the world of all its horrors. They knew magic alone could not solve the problem. Those wielding it were too few, the infestation too vast, and so they turned to science, envisioning a way to use mutation to their advantage, to create exceptional beings without fear or weakness. Their bodies imbued with the very essence of the beasts they would vanquish. Yet, for this, Alzur and Liliana needed to deepen their understanding of mutagens and turn theory into practice, no matter the terrible cost. Alzur and Lily, eager to see years of research come to fruition, were finally spurred to action by a chance encounter. In a nearby village, a brute of a man had been sentenced to death, yet he did not find his fate at the end of the hangman's rope. Instead, the mages purchased his life, for he was the perfect vessel for their experiment. Sure of their science, they promptly began sedating the man and flooding his veins with myriad concoctions. As expected, the subject mutated, but most violently so. His body, twisted by the tinctures, warped into a foul abomination. With newfound strength, the monstrosity broke free from its bonds. Bewildered and bitter, it lashed out in frenzied rage. Jagged claws pierced Lily, rending flesh from bone. Alzur fought the monster back, but try as he might, kill it he could not. With violent urges sated, the failed experiment fled from the laboratory, leaving Alzur alone to wallow in the wake of his failure, which was absolute. Darkness and despair consumed the mage for days, weeks, months, until eventually sorrow paved the way to a solitary purpose. Alzur would ensure above all else that his beloved Lily had not died in vain. During an excursion north, Alzur, cursed by an insatiable curiosity, found himself pursuing the mystery behind a series of suspicious deaths. Thanks to the mage's incredible knack for deductive reasoning, he was able to identify the culprit, a courtesan with a grudge against men and a penchant for poison. The disillusioned woman had most wickedly murdered dozens of clients using a concoction of rare herbs, her chosen toxins leaving each victim writhing in mortal agony as their insides slowly melted away. Ever the opportunist, Alzur offered the woman a choice. She could face the wrath of the townsfolk she'd wronged, a death sentence for sure, or she could come with the mage, take her chances with his experiment, and perhaps live to see another day. She chose the latter. Of course, the mage hoped she would survive the procedure, but if her life was to be forfeited, he surmised, then perhaps she could find redemption in her sacrifice. After all, she had caused much suffering with her poisons. It seemed only fitting that she should endure Alzur's concoctions in an effort to help save countless lives. Yet this particular experiment yielded results that confounded the mage. The mutations meant to reshape the body did not progress, the entire process resembling a subtle poisoning. She did not squirm, she did not struggle, she did not suffer in any tangible way. The courtesan simply closed her eyes, and then she died. This fruitless attempt with the courtesan ingrained in the mage a prejudice that he would never shake, and from that day onward, of the many subjects exposed to his experiments, only a handful would be female. An acquaintance from years past heard tales of Alzur's experiments and decided to track the mage down. Once a gallant knight, bursting with vigor and in the prime of his youth, he had, like the few humans lucky enough to live so long, become old and frail. Desperately wanting to recapture his long-lost strength, he proffered his body for experimentation. A quick death in pursuit of his wish was better than a slow, pathetic crawl towards the grave, he declared. But Alzur would not have it. He knew full well that the knight's weak frame would not survive the procedure, and did not want to expose a friend to unnecessary suffering. As it was, because of the man's advanced age, the experiment was unlikely to yield beneficial results. Yet the man was insistent, and during their squabble, a thought struck Alzur, something he had somehow not yet contemplated. Instead of injecting his concoctions, why not have the subject ingest a milder blend beforehand, to better prime the body for future, more invasive mutations? And so the mage brewed a diluted mixture of the required herbs into a tea and gave it to the man, curious of the effect it would have. For days, the old knight's health declined as he drifted between lucidity and delirium. But then he recovered. Euphoric with delight, the old man claimed to feel more vigorous than he'd done in decades. But the feeling was not enough to sate his desires. Once he had tasted the intoxicating nectar of vitality, he lusted for more, demanding that Alzur submit him to the entire procedure, no matter the risk. After much debate, Alzur finally agreed. Unfortunately, the experiment ended precisely as he had predicted. A malignant plague known as the Wheezing Death had swept through a small hamlet in the hills. Arriving in search of new candidates for his research, Alzur discovered the devastation left in the scourge's wake. Everyone, it seemed, had already perished, save one. A young boy, sulking amid the corpses of his kin, was somehow still alive, albeit evidently quite sick and deteriorating fast. Without intervention, the boy's fate was surely sealed, and so Alzur, unsure of what else to do, took the orphan with him. Whilst the mage's mutations could provide salvation for the ailing child, Alzur did not wish to subject the boy to a painful end if he didn't have to. For days he scoured his mind for a better alternative, but the boy was too far gone, and no other method worked. By the time Alzur decided to proceed with the experiment, the child was at death's door. And so, with utmost delicacy, he sedated the boy and used a careful combination of diluted concoctions. Days of suffering followed, of high fever and vomiting and violent shaking. Yet to Alzur's surprise, the boy's condition finally improved. Better yet, his once frail body showed visible improvements and physical development beyond what a boy of his age should possess. It was a monumental breakthrough, yet the triumph was short-lived. Despite his augmentations, the small boy perished days later, the exact cause of his death a mystery. Though crestfallen, the glimpse of success ignited hope within the exhausted mage, and while he did not yet want to admit it, he had in that moment discovered the secret to a favorable mutation: youth. Alzur had made many sacrifices in his pursuit, and the toll now weighed heavily upon his soul. Yet failure now would erase all past gains and losses. He had spent so many years of his life scouring the lands, slaying abominable monstrosities, and gathering vital resources, all in steadfast loyalty to the promise he had once made. Alzur needed only to take the final step. For too long he had hoped there would be another way. Alas, he could ignore the obvious no longer. There would be no more half measures. Youth, he concluded. It had to be. With his new process all but perfected, Alzur sedated the young boy he had adopted during his latest excursion, then carefully administered his concoctions. In spite of all the odds, the procedure did not mangle the boy's body, nor did it render him inert. By all means, the experiment was a resounding success. After decades dedicated to a singular purpose, after strife, struggle, and sacrifice, Alzur had finally accomplished his task. He had engineered a mold in which he could shape the perfect slayer of beasts. He had formed the catalyst that would mark the beginning of the end for the Age of Monsters. He had, through science and sorcery, given birth to a Witcher. But at what price?
I see you gather before me. Hungry, terrified, clutching your babes to your breast. Men of the North! You stand at the precipice. Your kings have failed you, so now you turn to the gods. And yet you do not plead. You do not kneel to dust your heads with ash. Instead you wail, why have the gods forsaken us? We must look into the trials we failed long ago. In a time past, our world intertwined with another through an upheaval scholars call the conjunction of the spheres. The gods allowed unholy forces to slip into our domain. The offspring of that cataclysm was the nefarious force called magic. Yet we did not banish it, instead studying the vile arcane for our own power and wealth. And the monsters at our door, the unholy relics of this conjunction. The trolls, the corpse eaters, the werewolves. Did we raise our swords against them? Or have we laid this burden on others? On so-called witches. Stray children taught the ways of foul sorcery, their bodies mutated through blasphemous ritual. Sent to fight monsters, though they could not distinguish good from evil. The flicker of humanity, long extinguished within them. Yes, their numbers have dwindled through the years. But a few still roam our lands, offering their bloody work for coin. To this day, they shame us with their very existence. The North bleeds, flogged by war. The battles are the gods' whip, chastisement for our sins. And let us not forget the terrors, the scourges from beyond our world. The wild hunt rides the sky with every full moon. The Dark Raiders abduct our children into lands unknown. Some say they herald a second conjunction. Can we chart a course back into the light? Will we find the strength to banish the mages from our kingdoms? Unite around the warmth of the eternal fire. Nigh is the time of the sword and axe. None will fight this war in our stead. Nigh is the time of madness and disdain.
Master Dandelion, do you promised us a ballad?
Yes, yes. Of battles and brave
Of
warriors.
sorceresses and magic.
Of unrequited love.
Silence, brats! You've not been in this world for long, so 'tis no surprise your heads are hollow. This is Dandelion, friend and companion of Geralt of Rivia. Who might he sing of, if not of the famed Witcher?
Right you are, honorable dwarf. I shall sing a fresh new ballad about White Wolf. Our story begins long before the Great War, decades before Geralt ever dreamed he would be famous. Its title, Bitter Evil Hearts. In the fall of 1232, the Witcher decided to return early to Kaer Morhen, fearing the quick advent of winter. The Witcher was angry. The final stretch through northern Kedwen was usually calm, but not this time. He was twice ambushed by bandits. Then one night, wolves attacked and killed his horse. He had grown accustomed to the kindly gray mare he had traditionally christened Roach. To make matters worse, at the foot of Kaer Morhen, he encountered a camp. Like all Witchers, he believed the fingers of one hand would suffice to count the people who knew the way to the Witcher's fortress. Visitors were a sign of trouble.
Perhaps we should return to Cairngorm. I have no desire to perish in this wilderness forsaken by the gods.
Silence, Merwin. They are but wolves.
Wolves that fearlessly attack and encamp when fit with campfires. I ask your forgiveness, mistress, but these are but wolves, like I am but an elven showgirl.
Did anyone ask for your opinion, Mr. Brings? No? Then start doing what you are being paid for, and keep your hopelessly cowardly opinions to yourself. We would all be safe if your boys manned their stations, instead of constantly playing dice while bathing in drink. Now take away this corpse before its stench fills my tent.
Can I ask what happened? Wolves killed the boy. Nothing unusual about it happening in a camp. It's commonly known that wolves, the cursed beasts, love flames so much that they bathe in them if they could.
Enough, Brings. Who are you, sir?
Geralt of Rivia, Witcher.
Prince Merwin Adamain of Ard Caraig. Kind of you to visit, finally. We've been awaiting your response all day.
Response regarding...
I'll explain. I'm Sabrina Glevisig, sorceress. Come see me at my tent. Merwin, I assume you won't mind my handling this matter?
No, though I will want to know what you agree.
It'll have to wait, whatever it is. Wolves approach. To arms!
Welcome to Mistress Sabrina's tent.
In case you're wondering, this is an illusion.
Everything?
Yes, but my dear Witcher, it's an illusion of rare quality. In fact, it barely differs from reality.
No matter.
Suit yourself. I assume you're returning to Kaer Morhen for the winter.
You assume correctly. Enough of the small talk. We have important things to discuss.
Thank you for your help with the wolves.
No problem.
You've heard of the curse of the Black Sun, Witcher?
The curse of the mad mage Eltebald. I believe he started the whole mess that led to several dozen nobly born women being murdered or imprisoned in towers.
Eltebald was no madman, and there is no doubt that women were not entirely normal.
Madness, normality, it's prattle steeped in relativity. Tell me something specific.
Autopsies were performed. The mutations witches undergo are but a minor clinical operation compared to those caused by the curse of the Black Sun. The skulls and spines of these girls contained red sponge of some kind. Their internal organs were in disarray, some missing altogether. Everything covered in moving cilia and pink and blue meat scraps. What say you to that?
Nothing.
I've seen humans with eagle talons instead of hands, with wolf fangs and eyes, people with additional joints, all products of mages fumbling with magic. It's no proof of a curse. We digress. Why are you here?
A girl affected by the curse of the Black Sun is inside Kaer Morhen, Princess Deirdre Adamain, elder sister of Merwin.
What do I have to do with this?
Don't play the fool. That girl is a serious threat to you. Surrender her to me and no one will get hurt.
I'll think about it.
Sabrina, I wish to have a word with you.
Naturally, Merwin, but not now. I have several matters to discuss with Geralt of Rivia.
Is there anything I should know?
Don't fret. We will confer later.
In that case, I shall take my leave.
Witcher?
I've heard nothing to convince me that the girl is cursed. What proof can you offer?
Quite a bit. All the girls born soon after the eclipse were discovered to be inclined towards cruelty, aggressive, prone to attacks of wrath and wildness.
Sounds like quite a few women I know.
Spare me the sarcasm. That is not all. The girls who were not cared for by mages showed exactly what they were capable of relatively quickly. They drowned entire lands in blood, ordering those captured to be tortured, executed.
Enough, Sabrina. If a curse could be used to explain the cruelty of all rulers, the world would be both simple and beautiful. Have anything specific or not?
I do. Hear me out and try not to interrupt. A magical aura surrounds Deirdre.
From what I know, most people have an aura.
You're interrupting. This is no normal aura. In her presence, the magic energy we draw on to cast spells dissipates. More precisely, it is converted into its original form, one of the elements. Simply put, it is impossible to use magic around her. I need not mention that this also applies to your witch's signs.
I see now why you need all those mercenaries.
In addition, she has an understanding with animals.
Druids have been taming.
Their magic does not turn animals into bloodthirsty beasts stripped of basic instincts. You have seen the wolves. They fear nothing, pay no heed to fire, pain. They merely want to kill.
What do you aim to do with Deirdre?
See if the curse can be removed. Study it, and finally and ultimately conclude the matter of the curse of the Black Sun. Contrary to what you believe, I intend to make her an offer. If she can find the will to aid me, it will only ease things for all of us.
And if she doesn't agree to help?
I shall force her. Yes, Geralt, for the greater good, I will bow at nothing. For I stand to save hundreds, perhaps thousands. You may not believe me, but there are more women of this kind. Many rule entire lands with a cruel hand. I am to report to the Council of Mages, the first trustworthy report, containing specific results. I must examine the girl, and that is precisely what I will do. Nothing and no one will stop me.
Sure about that?
Don't threaten me, Witcher. All of Kedwin's might stands behind me. King Henselt is eating out of my hand. You wouldn't dare.
We'll see.
Witcher?
Have you spoken to the other Witchers? Who is at the castle?
Merwin spoke to 2 of them. There may be more, I don't know. Merwin was not let inside.
That shouldn't be surprising. We don't generally like guests.
Like it or not, we are special guests. Merwin carries a letter of safe conduct from King Henselt. Read it, and tell the other witches to prepare for a visit.
You must be bored out here.
Well, in truth, the valley provides little in the way of diversion for the civilized, and my illusory boy is no longer as entertaining as he used to be.
Or maybe it's time to go then. I'm sure there's no lack of entertainment for the civilized at the court of King Henselt.
Don't count on it, Witcher. I will not give up so easily.
It was worth a try.
Witcher?
See you soon.
Go and speak with the witches. Sway them to my point of view. I'm a professional. I know what the girl needs. And I'm very good at demonstrating gratitude.
That I do not doubt at all.
I see you have spoken to Miss Sabrina. However, I lead this expedition. Remember that.
I will.
Are you able to read?
I am.
Then read this scroll.
To my barons, vassals, and all free subjects.
Go on, go on.
Let it be known far, wide, and by all that I hereby declare Merwin of Caingorn to be our loyal and trusted servant, and to be loved by us, thus rendering all who cause him grief liable to incur our royal wrath. Henselt, King of Kedwin.
Good enough. Understood?
Indeed, though grief is spelled differently.
I see you are quick. So you accept that if the Witchers wish to travel freely and unmolested about Kedwin, they should not cause me grief, no matter how the term is spelt.
You don't seem like anyone's causing you grief.
Not yet, no. But that may change, and my patience has its limits.
I wanted to ask you something. May I ask what brings you to Kaer Morhen, sir?
My sister, Deirdre. She is my elder, and in Kedwin, the eldest offspring inherits all titles and estates, no matter the gender. My father, Prince of Cairngorm, may he rest in peace, passed on 2 weeks ago, a victim of syphilis.
So Deirdre is now Princess of Caingorn?
She would be, if not for the curse that holds her. Anyone aspiring to the throne of Cairngorm must fulfill 2 additional conditions. Cairngorm is a vassal state of Kedwin. For decades, the princes of the north have bowed before the throne at Ard Carreg, a throne currently occupied by King Henselt, who has made his opinion on the issue of cursed princesses very clear.
I think I get it. And the second condition?
Do you know Cairngorm's history, Witcher?
Not well.
We have this custom whereby any aspiring ruler, prior to assuming the throne, must spend a day amongst the duchy's simple folk, execute a series of menial tasks, and pray in the Temple of Freya in the evening.
Sounds reasonable.
The problem is my sister has displeased the simple folk in the past, and though she most probably could bribe a few prominents, the priestesses of Freya will never accept her.
Because she is cursed, supposedly.
Because she has killed too many, even for a princess. Her victims include the priestess Isildura. Truthfully, the old hag was nearing the end of her days, but that changes little.
Is it certain that Deirdre caused her death?
Beyond any doubt. When Miss Sabrina decided to perform a magic ritual that was to lift the curse from my sister, Deirdre went mad. Then a huge wolf emerged from behind a house, and before it could be stopped, it shredded Isildura's throat. Miss Sabrina cast a powerful spell, and the old priestess's spirit arose and said, I was killed by Deirdre Ademain, who was born beneath the Black Sun.
Sabrina cast a spell, you say? I believe necromancy was banned.
Greetings, I'm Merton Brings, commander of this pathetic bunch.
Geralt of Rivia.
So, how's it gonna be, Geralt?
How is what going to be?
Will you make peace with the Honourable Glevisig? Please take that damn bitch. Or are we due to have a serious misunderstanding?
Believe me, Merton, you don't want to cross swords with me.
Of course I wouldn't. I've heard what your kind can do. I once saw a witcher at work. That changes little though. We're on contract and contracts are sacred. So what will it be?
I don't know yet. Let's try to figure it out.
All right. Forgive me, I can offer nothing. We can't hunt because of these wolves, and our supplies are running low.
So what's the story with this contract of yours?
Well, when Merwin tells us to fight, we'll have no choice. He pays regularly, on time. My hands are tied.
So the nobleman is in charge?
Theoretically.
And practically?
I'll say this. Sabrina Glevisig interrupts King Henselt when he speaks by pounding the table with her fist and ordering him to shut up and listen.
What does Henselt do?
He listens. The woman can be very unpleasant. Merwin is from Cairngorm, and only recently joined Henselt's court. He's no match for the witch.
Who is?
Witches are best handled by witchers.
Any thoughts on this girl, Deirdre?
Too thin for my taste. Nothing to grab hold of, eh? Or slap. Or take and...
I guess she's just not the dwarven type.
Precisely. Though, I wouldn't kick her out of the sack.
Not afraid of the curse?
Afraid? No, Witcher. I'm a rationalist. Don't believe the hogwash. But you're wasting your time. The girl's inside your fortress. See her for yourself.
Not a bad idea. How did you find Kaer Morhen?
We tracked the girl here, thanks to Rhyme. He's the best scout I know. Could find a fish in a stream.
He did track the girl down.
Geralt.
Take care.
Psst. Master Geralt.
What is it?
I merely wish a brief word with you, sir, but reveal not to Miss Sabrina that I drew you aside.
All right. Talk to me.
Master, do not defend the lass you harbour now in your castle. She is not worthy. I detest her with all my might. It will be 2 years now when she passed through my village with her retinue. My father, keeper of the local tavern, took in the noble party. I know not if he offended her, or if it was just her whim, but she tormented my father to death, slowly and cruelly, forcing my mother and me to watch. May she be damned for the ages.
And no one raised a hand to stop her?
It was but the princess who had a retinue of armed men and who wielded a sword herself. There was nothing anyone could do. I beg you, surrender the girl to Sabrina, who will repay her for all her ill deeds.
I need to speak with the other Witchers first. Have a minute? I wanted to talk.
So speak.
How did you find the way to Kaer Morhen?
Do you fear for the castle's safety? Unnecessarily. I have no intention of divulging the road to the legendary Kaer Morhen.
Thank you.
I am not new to the mountains, Witcher. The road to Kaer Morhen is winding and steep, but I know how to navigate in mountains. For I was raised in these hills.
Are you from Dol Blathana?
Close, but not quite. I fought at Dol Blathana, but hail from elsewhere. The Blue Mountains, as you call them, are my home.
You're a free elf.
Yes, I am a free Ansaid, and no commander, no order can change that.
What's your take on this pursuit after the girl?
I'm paid to find paths and trails, not to pass judgment.
So answer like a hunter. Is what they say true? Is she a monster?
I shall answer like an Ansaid. Evil can assume many forms, even those pleasing to the eye. I have long followed the girl's trail and seen many signs of murder, seen those cruelly maimed and rendered living dead. But you tell me, the corpses and blood, are they any different from what normal humans create? I defended Dol Blathana against your kind, and know what you are capable of. When asked to judge who is human and who is beast, most often I shrug.
See you.
Hey, Wolf.
Lambert, who else is here for the winter?
Vesemir and Eskel, and, well, we have guests.
I know. I've been to their camp. What are you doing here?
Making sure they stay out of Kaer Morhen.
Our guests tried to enter Kaer Morhen?
Some pompous ass showed up with an escort of dwarf mercenaries. Obviously, I couldn't let them pass.
Obviously, though I hope you didn't provoke them.
Didn't have a chance to. The Archospores sprouted first. Quite a few seem to have planted roots over the summer. I always thought they grew on the graves of the murdered. Some bad wind must have carried the spores to the valley. It's full of them now. In any case, the dwarves evacuated the noblemen as soon as the plants appeared. It's been quiet since then. Thanks, Wolf. Of course, I could have managed on my own.
No problem.
Wolf.
They say there's a girl inside the fortress.
Yeah, Eskel's doing. I think you should talk to him.
How exactly is Eskel involved?
Deirdre claims destiny has bound her to Eskel. Instead of figuring things out with her, Eskel's gone to clear the nearby mine of monsters.
Where's Vesemir?
In the lower courtyard with the girl.
See you later.
Greetings, Geralt. Good thing you're here.
Greetings.
How is the path?
Tolerable. Nothing groundbreaking. What is going on here, Vesemir?
We've got a bit of a problem. The Princess of Caingorn arrived 2 days ago, claiming her envious brother and an evil sorceress were pursuing her. She's asked for our protection.
She's got her castles all wrong. No knights in shining armor here.
She was in bad shape, hungry, cold. We didn't have the heart to drive her off. And Eskel was acting strange. Before the girl fell asleep, she said one more thing, that one cannot flee one's fate. Later, Eskel told me a story. Some 20 years ago, he saved the Prince of Caingorn's life. He cited the law of surprise, and as they say, destiny proved fortunate. Unbeknownst to the prince, his wife was with child.
I'm not sure that was entirely fortunate.
So you've heard of the curse. In any case, on a day when the sky was dark as night at high noon, the princess gave birth to a girl. As far as I know, Eskel never returned to claim the child promised him by the prince. For some reason, ever since then, he's always taken the long way around Caingorn. So, now we need to deal with the brother of Eskel's unexpected child, a retinue of mercenaries, and a sorceress bent on dissecting the woman she suspects of being a mutant. As if that's not enough, the brother carries a letter of safe conduct from King Henselt himself. So we can hardly just drive them all away.
What do we do?
Talk to Eskel. She's his surprise. We'll meet back at the ford Lambert is guarding. Think it through, Wolf. I want to hear your opinion.
Fine.
Wolf.
What do you think about this dispute, Deirdre, Sabrina, and the nobleman?
We should stay out of it. Geralt, we protect humans from monsters. That's our vocation. Meddling in human affairs only brings trouble.
Do you mean the letter bearing King Henselt's seal?
Exactly. We can't afford to provoke the king. This could get sticky.
I get your point. I'll see if I can learn some more.
Wolf.
Tell me about the girl.
She seems a bit strange, though I wouldn't call her a monster.
Strange how?
When she's near, my medallion goes wild, and I can't cast even the simplest signs. I can't explain it.
Why is everyone outside?
The keep is locked. I'd rather not unlock it with strangers around. We're better off spending a few days out in the open. That way I can be sure no one will go sniffing around the fortress.
True enough.
Wolf.
Where's Deirdre?
A little further on with her wolves.
I should talk to her.
Greetings, Geralt. I'm Deirdre. Eskel spoke of you.
I've heard a few things about you, too.
If you mean from that lying shrew Glevisig.
Calm down. I don't tend to judge based on rumors.
Geralt?
Deirdre, do you know what Sabrina and your brother want from you?
Isn't it obvious? Sabrina wants to place my sweet little brother on the throne of Caingorn. My brother, who is entirely subservient to her, and who, as the Prince of Caingorn, will have a vote on King Henselt's council.
I was asking about something else.
All right, then. She believes me to be cursed, tainted in my mother's very womb. She believes me to be a monster.
Are you?
How the hell should I know? When I prick my finger, I bleed. I also bleed each month. When I eat too much, my stomach aches. I sing when I am joyful. And when I feel hatred, I kill. I don't know if I'm a monster. Yet I do know what Sabrina is capable of. She is a monster you seek.
Explain. I'd like to hear your side.
I was 19 and happy when Sabrina showed up at the castle. My father, who always preferred Merwin, was old and ill by this time, so he could no longer bother me. My brother had been away at King Henselt's court, and I could handle most of the courtiers. I was at a tender age, and I fell in love. His name was Robin. I even considered a morganatic marriage. Girlish fantasy.
What does Sabrina have to do with this?
She arrived with my brother, whom she already had on a short lead. She observed me, interrogated servants, tested the situation. My father's company of knights treated me like a daughter. I had always liked hunting, took part in manhunts for bandits. She needed proof, some spectacular way to defame me.
And in your carelessness, you provided her with that proof.
Sabrina decided to provoke me. She seduced Roban using magic so powerful that his mind became confused. He suddenly developed an intense fear of animals, especially of the dogs he bred. I wanted to help him. It was then I discovered that mages found it hard to cast spells in my presence, and that spells previously cast gradually subsided if I was near. I went to the small chamber Roban inhabited just above the kennel, and I found Sabrina there. I admit, I was enraged, wanting to tear her apart, but she was too quick. The hag flew out of the window on a broom. Roban was left drooling, whimpering like a child. Within an hour, he had ceased gibbering, and within 2, he understood what the witch had done to him. I thought all was in order and I could leave him. I wished to settle the score with her and entered the castle. I know not what happened, but the spell grasped Roban once more as soon as I was gone. He began feverishly seeking Sabrina. In his wildness, he entered a pen occupied by a very aggressive hunting hound.
Did he survive?
Yes. Though mentally he became a 2-year-old child, a child that feared animals intensely. Sabrina blamed the accident on me. I swore then that I would kill her. I carry a blade should I get the opportunity to use it.
How did you find Kaer Morhen?
I always know where Eskel is. I merely need to think about him.
What do you want from Eskel?
You can be disarmingly kind.
That was brusque, you're right. Sorry.
I want him to stop fleeing his destiny.
And become Prince of Caingorn? Are you feeling all right, Deirdre? Eskel is a witcher.
What of it? It seems you don't know how childish your witch's mores sound. I constantly hear things like, we're witches have no feelings and so on. You don't fool me. You have feelings, emotions, you're like all people except faster. I cannot fathom why you strive so hard to hide that.
It's rarely wise to fight a legend. Sometimes you have to make do with it.
Perhaps, but I'm not deceived.
Your wolf's eyes are glazed over with hunger.
They're starved. Because of that bitch Sabrina, I cannot venture beyond the fortress walls. They choose to remain at my side, thus depriving themselves of the opportunity to hunt.
You seem to have a better understanding with wolves than with humans.
I raised them from when they were cubs. In a sense, they are my only friends.
All right, I'll see if I can find something for them.
I spotted several wyverns in the area, on the peninsula across the river from the camp. If you could slay 3 of them and bring me their meat, I'll reward you.
Reward me?
I have a runestone that can be cast into a blade. What did you think I had in mind?
Nothing. I'll be back soon.
Geralt?
Time to feast. Here you go, pups.
They won't accept anything from you. I'll feed them myself. Diablo! Banshee! Here is the rune I promised you, Witcher.
Why are you looking at me that way?
Witcher, do you know many a princess wears batiste next to her skin?
If you say so. Take care.
Hey, Geralt.
Eskel, I wanted to talk about Deirdre.
Fine, but we should tend to the Kikimors first. We need to destroy their cocoons. The art is best for that. It's dark inside, so down a dose of cat.
Let's go.
First chamber is clear. Let's go deeper.
Care to tell me something about Deirdre?
It was about 20 years ago. I rescued Deirdre's father from a gang of Bobolaks. I must have heard too many of Vesemir's stories about the eternal law of surprise.
We've all heard too many of those.
The prince, spattered with Bobolak blood, looked at me and said, "You saved my life, Witcher. As I am your debtor, say what you wish in return." All I could think of was the famous line, "You will give me what you know not that you have." I shall return to Caingorn 6 years from now to see if destiny acted in my favor. I never went back to Caingorn. Then rumors started circulating about the curse of the Black Sun. There was confusion, but that's another story. We have Kikimors to tend to.
All right, but I'll have a few more questions.
One chamber left. Let's take a breather.
What do you know about the curse of the Black Sun?
I did take an interest in it, and even bribed a certain wizard to let me look at documents drafted for the Council of Mages. I took some notes. It seems the mages screwed up as usual. Sabrina Glefisig was chosen to examine the Princess of Caingorn. It was hatred at first sight. Something about a guy.
Women.
It only got worse. Sabrina concluded she had enough proof to consider Deirdre a cursed mutant and to subject her to real studies. As I'm sure you've guessed, Deirdre had no intention of being examined, not least because she was a princess. She persuaded several of the prince's warriors to get rid of Sabrina. All hell broke loose at the castle in Caingorn. Many died, and there was some priestess among the corpses.
What did the priestess have to do with anything?
Nothing. From what I know, she landed in the wrong place at the wrong time. After it was all over, Deirdre fled the castle.
And the pursuit continues to this day.
Exactly. I'll give you my notes on the curse when we're done with the Kikimors. Let's get to work. Done deal.
So what'll it be, Eskel? What do we do with Deirdre?
I really don't know, Geralt. I understand Vesemir's viewpoint, but I'm not keen on surrendering the girl to the sorceress. I expect she'd meet an unpleasant end.
You have to make this decision on your own.
I know, though at this point the matter concerns you as well. It concerns all the Witchers.
Fine, we'll consider it. Give me the notes and let's get out of here. Can I ask a personal question?
You may.
What's your connection to Sabrina Glefisig?
Mutual respect.
That's evident enough. Can I ask a personal question?
You may.
What do you think of Deirdre? I'm talking about the curse, of course.
My information is limited. When we were children, several charlatans appeared. They counseled my father, examined Deirdre, told fortunes and calculated horoscopes. They brewed mysterious concoctions. Nonsense, all of it. When Deirdre was 12, a certain mage arrived, an oniromancer. Do you know what oniromancy is?
Divination based on dreams.
I thought so too. This individual was an altogether different kind of specialist. The mage claimed that he needed to spend a night in Deirdre's chamber as she slept. He mixed a brew designed to amplify her dreams. The old man could barely walk, had a beard down to his waist. We suspected nothing. He did as he claimed he would do. By morning he was gone. Several valuable items had disappeared from Deirdre's chamber, including her favorite mother-of-pearl comb. Only the laundresses in the outskirts saw him, claiming that he had fled as if chased by demons.
So he deceived you and robbed her. Did the prince order a pursuit?
Of course he did, but too late. The morning after that tragic night, Deirdre claimed the mage had raped her. My father refused to believe her. The cheat was an old man, as I said, and the bed linens betrayed nothing. Deirdre fled the castle, assisted by a young stable boy, an excessively broad-shouldered oaf. My father sent out a search party, yet Deirdre had disappeared without a trace. A week later, the party found the old mage's corpse. He had been tortured. Someone had cut off his...
I can do without the details. In any case, he was a thief. He could have angered many.
You're right, of course. Yet folk inhabiting the area where he was found claim to have seen a young girl and boy ride through on large wolves.
Wolf-riding children only appear in fairy tales. You can't tell me that a 12-year-old girl and idiot stable boy managed to evade a search party, find the cheat, and...
I'm suggesting nothing, merely recounting facts. Some time passed and Deirdre returned to the castle. From then on, my father ordered the dogs set upon any mages that approached, assuming that any true sorcerer would surely manage to avoid a few bear-hunting hounds. And then Miss Sabrina appeared.
Take care.
What?
I stretch my arms toward you, my sweet. Sense stars converge where our hands meet.
Witcher?
Who was Robin?
No one important, Witcher.
Deirdre says otherwise. She's convinced you cast a spell on him.
One could say that, though every woman uses magic of that kind.
Men seduced through natural means don't generally lose their minds.
Perhaps I helped myself with some subtle spell I don't recall. It's of no importance. If you wish to know so badly, I will tell you how it was.
I'm all ears, but don't lie.
Robin was the prince's huntsman, a strong, charismatic man. He trained the prince's bear-hunting dogs and lived above the kennel. The girl walked in on us one night. She became enraged, and I could do nothing, for her aura was strong by that time. Robin sought to defend me, and followed her down to the kennel to speak reason to her. The dogs attacked him. It was horrible, and Deirdre joined in their howls. The dogs barked and growled horribly.
No two ways about it. You behaved like a true sorceress.
I refused to be provoked. That night, Robin changed. He acquired an intense fear of animals. The prince cast him out after a few weeks. That is all.
Wolf.
I think it's time we decided.
We need to figure out what to do with Deirdre and her brother. Eskel wants everyone to say their piece. This concerns our safety and Kaer Morhen. A mistake could cost us dearly.
Let's do this.
I'll start. I think we should stay out of this, meaning we can no longer shelter the girl. The reason is simple. If we meddle and Sabrina informs Henselt, Kedwen will be off-limits to us for decades.
Lambert?
I don't really care for Deirdre, but I detest the fact that some blue blood who rules Three Coal Hills comes here demanding obedience. This is Kaer Morhen. Royal authority doesn't extend here. I think we need to drive away the noble and the sorceress.
What about you, Eskel?
I'm torn. I understand Vesemir, On the other hand, I owe the girl. I feel some kind of bond. I'm incapable of being objective. I'd like to hear your opinion, Wolf.
I'm with Vesemir. We can't meddle. We need to be neutral.
Geralt.
Sorry, Eskel. That's what I believe.
All right. I'll go tell her.
Geralt, go with him. Not likely to be an easy conversation.
I'll go. I'd love a fight.
Lambert, this is serious. I'll go with Eskel.
We'll join you in a bit.
Geralt?
Deirdre, we spoke to Vesemir and Lambert. You must leave.
You've made your choice. I expected as much, though I had hoped.
You don't understand.
Deirdre, we can't put Kaer Morhen at risk. They hardly love us as it is, and King Hensel can be irritable.
So, you have chosen the lesser evil. The problem is, it is not the lesser evil to me. You have betrayed me like all who I ever trusted, like my father, like Roban.
Eskel.
You'll pay for this.
Deirdre, we won't give you up to the sorceress, but you can't stay at Kaer Morhen. Listen, please.
No, Eskel, it is too late. You have made your choice and must endure the consequences.
Eskel, watch out!
What happened?
We need a magic healer. Eskel was cut across his face and stabbed in the gut. He'll be dead in 15 minutes.
I'll need an hour to unlock the laboratory, release all the traps.
I'll try to bring Sabrina here.
Where's Deirdre?
She cut up Eskel, summoned the Archospores, and fled.
Impressive for a young woman.
What happened? I sensed a change in the aura and got here as fast as I could. Where's the girl?
She attacked us and fled.
How could you let that happen? We must find her.
We need to help Eskel first. He's seriously wounded. You need to use your magic.
I could, of course, but why should I? This never would have happened if you had listened to me.
Sabrina, please help him.
Very well, but you must promise me something in exchange. You should have no trouble doing so after what happened here. You must pledge that none of you will impede my search for her. That's not too much to ask for the life of one of the last remaining witches, is it?
We can't give you our word, and not because we don't want to. Eskel is bound to Deirdre by the law of surprise. It's his decision. We cannot make it for him.
I'll be satisfied if you stop meddling, and if you advise Eskel likewise, should he ask.
I can promise you neither, and take my advice, Sabrina. Don't scoff at destiny.
I don't believe in destiny, Witcher. What is more, I think you're a fool to measure your friend's life against some convoluted ideology. Have it your way, and know that I intended to help him from the start.
Why the games, then?
I wish to test your belief in that nonsense. Now I must get to work. I doubt destiny alone can cure this fool. I've done all I can now. In a few days he'll be like new. I cannot remove the scar, it's his for good.
Thank you, Sabrina.
Yes, thanks. And I'm sorry. I had my doubts that you would help.
Actually, Sabrina has her conditions.
Explain.
Sabrina wanted us to promise we would leave the matter to her. I refused.
And yet I healed you in spite of that. I trust I will not come to regret it.
Your decision, Eskel.
I'm truly grateful, but I understand that destiny cannot be denied. I can't make you any promises.
Be warned, Witcher. The girl can only bring death. You refuse to relinquish her, so the blood she will inevitably shed will stain your hands.
Don't worry about us. We tend to our own matters.
Sabrina Glevisig, we are ever so grateful for your selfless assistance, but there's nothing more to be said, and our Witcher's duty calls.
Enough, I think I understand. And trust we shall never meet again. Farewell, Witchers.
Deirdre had to leave. We couldn't afford to risk Kaer Morhen. A Witcher is no fairy tale prince. The princess should have looked elsewhere for someone to save her. A Witcher doesn't meddle in the disputes of the nobly born. He remains neutral. Sometimes neutrality exacts a high price. For the next 2 years, Deirdre terrorized southern Kedwen. The bounty on her increased over time. Stories of her cruelty spread far and wide, beyond the Yaruga River. They say she was finally slain by a man with a terribly scarred face. They also say he never claimed the reward.
The Witchers never again spoke of Deirdre. Though none ever forgot her, each carrying her memory in his heart.
Hello. No, I fear this is no dream, my friend. Didn't actually think I would forget about you, did you? Me, who with but a whisper can swell a wave. Start a chain of events with consequences momentous. No, I never forget. And it's high time to pay the piper. No clue why we took the long way round. Would have been quicker to go through the woods.
Folks say the forest's cursed.
Bah, blather.
There, packed.
Much obliged. Very kind of you.
Nights, young. What say you we play some cards?
Aye. And hear another story.
No, not tonight.
Why not? With the fire, pipes, Gwent, we've got to have a tale. It's tradition now.
Ah, fine. So be it. Here's a story Geralt told me only after much prodding. It happened in these very woods, not far from Aldersburg. The Witcher was traversing the wood with his ever-loyal, occasionally blundering, companion in many adventures, the bard Dandelion. Road-weary, the two decided to pitch camp and brew up a soup. Geralt collected water for the kettle, while Dandelion wandered off in search of milk caps, chanterelles, and porcinis. Amidst the trees, a wooden bridge came into view. At one end, a group of travelers. At the other, a monstrous horde.
Ah! Help! Save us! I beg you!
Why do I always find myself... hold on! I'll get help!
Dandelion pivoted on the spot, then froze in place.
Ah! Geralt! Geralt! Use that Witcher hearing of yours, damn it!
They'll devour us! Eat us alive! Run while you're able, and your legs will carry you!
No, stop! You'll never escape them, they're too fast!
And just who the ruddy hell are you? Some bloody expert on monsters?
I've learned a thing or two. Secondhand. We can't let on that we're afraid. Come on, everyone! Forward! Attack!
Sorry. I'm coming! And ye, Master Bard?
Holding my position for now. Someone should stand back, observe the battle as it unfolds, devise tactics, a strategy.
Oh, bloody hell, another one! Help!
Sorry.
God, have mercy on me.
Excellent! Now hold your position!
There! In the underbrush! Another!
Ha! One look at us and it hides, tail between its legs. This beast has some sense. Bad mushrooms. I just had to have mushrooms. Ah! We've got them outnumbered. We can do this. Slash! Strike! Kill!
And so, with some remarkable aid from Dandelion, the hapless travelers escaped with their lives. Yet their victory proved as unexpected as it was fleeting.
Shh! Hear that? That frightened beast. It's returned. And it's not alone.
Don't lie.
I'll lead the way. Follow me! Charge!
Curse you.
Will not leave you behind! Yeah!
Famous last... right! Coming! On my way!
3 against 3. We can manage with odds like that. Then again, perhaps not.
This is the end. Goodbye, cruel world. Curtain!
Resigned to his fate, Dandelion slumped to his knees to await the final, fatal blow. And yet, it did not come. For the monsters retreated as if stricken by a sudden terror. Dandelion spun round to identify the source of their fear, spotted his savior, and bellowed,
Geralt, finally! You even realize how long it kept me waiting?
Nowhere near as long as I've waited to hear you say thank you. Saved your skin how many times now? What would you say? Now step back and sheathe that blade before you hurt yourself.
I beg your pardon? Before you deigned to show up, I actually killed one of these beasts myself.
Mm-hmm. No witnesses, I take it?
Don't lie. Move it, folks! You strike from the left, you from the right, while I'm still needed here. At last, victory is within Oh, another one! Help! Somebody help me! Die, you scoundrel, you rogue! Another monster! Another beast!
I hate portals.
Ha! We won! We are victors, do you see that? My selfless final assault turned the tide!
The travelers, not in want of coin, rewarded their saviors generously, then offered yet more in exchange for another small favor. In their panicked flight from the monster swarm, they had abandoned a wagon heavy with valuables. They wished now to recover it and make haste out of the Moulderwood, with the Witcher as their armed escort, of course. Geralt was, at first, inclined to refuse, yet Dandelion, upon hearing the promised sum, swiftly persuaded his friend to accept the contract. The Witcher would prove he was well worth the coins soon enough. The wagon stood abandoned and turned upon its side at the road's edge, right next to a monster nest.
Damn it, no telling what's in there. Need to be careful.
Whatever your orders, Master Witcher. We trust you.
Stop. Everyone stay back. It could be a trap.
We've done it! We've won!
Easy now. Too early to celebrate. Keep your wits, damn it. This isn't over. Shh. More coming. They'll surface soon.
Geralt's intuition once again proved true. From the depths of the nest emerged a wave of monstrosities, covered in mud and congealed blood, their eyes burning with hatred.
Gods! There's more of the filth!
Attack! Quick! Before they scatter!
Ha ha! They didn't stand a chance!
With Geralt leading and guiding their efforts, the travelers defeated the wretched horde and recovered their wagon of valuables. The caravan then resumed its journey, turning north towards Aldersburg. The forest's edge was not far. With a favorable wind at their back, they would arrive at the city gates before nightfall. But rarely does a favorable wind blow through the Moulderwood. As our heroes and their companions rode through a village that lay in ruin, a man in a tattered uniform emerged to meet them.
In the name of King Demavid, I command you to stop. A toll is owed. You must pay it here, you must.
In a ravaged, deserted village, in the middle of the woods? Interesting place you've chosen for a toll, collector.
Your authority. You know, the writ that grants you the right to collect. I wager it's just as interesting. And I'd very much like to see it.
Well, a pair of slippery snakes you are, ain't you? I wonder if you'll keep laughing once my flare's knocked all your teeth out your mouth. Get 'em, lads!
Let's get
Sorcery. Real bloody magic. Don't shit yourself silly at the first sign of luck. This ain't over just yet.
Geralt, look out!
Take that, you freak! No!
Master Witcher, do you require aid?
No, I'll manage. That ought to do it. Dandelion, need to see to my wounds. You're in charge.
But I...
Figure it out.
Got the bastards!
What doesn't kill you? To arms, men!
Aye. Right away.
This don't look good. This don't look good at all.
With life, mates! For love and honor!
Not so tough without your Witcher, are you?
Actually, we are extremely tough. Dangerously so. Deadly, in fact. So much so, we're giving you a leg up.
Master Dandelion, they've got the upper hand. We cannot survive this.
They'll slaughter us all! To the last man!
Calm yourselves, men. I've an ace up my sleeve.
What the devils was that?
A dwarven battle song. Nothing quite like it to stir a fire in your heart. Now, at them! Victory! Sweet, sweet victory!
The travelers had managed to fend off the bandit deserters. Alas, this did not at all mean they had left danger behind. The unexpected skirmish had delayed them. It was clear they would not leave the wood before dusk, and the Moulderwood, hazardous by day, turned utterly deadly by night. The travelers required a safe location in which to pitch camp post-haste. And here, fortune shone down upon them as they soon discovered a cluster of elven ruins. Yet the travelers soon also discovered they were not alone in choosing the ivy-covered stone structures as their shelter.
Varla! Who approaches?
Merchant caravan. We mean no harm.
You think me so gullible, Dwan, to believe these words you proffer so easily? You humans hunt us like animals. Half our unit lost just 2 days past.
It wasn't us, I assure you. We had nothing to do with... Gods, what was that?
Erica's queen. Must have followed our trail. We destroyed her nest. She's out for revenge.
Oh, typical. You disturb nature's balance in the forest and now stand bewildered as it seeks to restore it.
Seems we can't count on their help. Close ranks, now!
No! It's not possible!
This is it. We'll die in this accursed wood.
Hey, Longears! Once this beast finishes with us, you know you'll be next, right?
He speaks true, Sorka.
Bladder arse! So be it. Attack!
Forced by circumstance to do so, eternal foes stood shoulder to shoulder against the monster horde. Indeed, it was truly a rare sight.
Humans and Scoia'tael fighting side by side amid elven ruins. Geralt, can you imagine the ballads? Can you hear them?
Won't be no ballad if you're dead. Focus, damn it! Let's get this over with.
The Arrakis Queen staggered, shrieked, and emitted a blood-curdling howl before collapsing onto the wagon and smashing it to bits. A groan rose from beneath the splintered boards. Someone was there, trapped, but alive. An elf, badly bruised, his limbs bound with rope. The Scoia'tael recognized him at once as the leader of a lost guerrilla unit. The alleged merchants had captured him for transport to Aldersburg, where he would first face torture and then the hangman, while they collected a hefty reward. Rather obviously, the revelation of the wagon's occupant put an immediate end to the alliance forged just moments before. Our heroes found themselves between a rock and a hard place, left to examine their conscience and loyalties, and, in consequence, to choose a side. In the end, Geralt and Dandelion supported the elven guerrillas in battle. I know not their reasoning. Perhaps they concluded that justice lay in the Scoia'tael camp, though, just as likely, they may simply have disliked being played for fools. Our heroes turned and strode away from the elven ruins, battle sounds still echoing behind them. Tears welled up in Dandelion's eyes, then spilled and trickled. Is this the way it would always be? Would humans and elves never live in harmony? Thereafter, the Witcher strove to avoid these woods, and did his damnedest never to meddle in settling others' scores.
What a tale. So something wicked dwells in these woods after all.
Go on, tell us another.
So, perhaps the one about...
Tales are nice and all, but it's time we moved on.
We really gotta chain him?
Got no choice in the matter. Stand up.
Right. As you wish.
Welcome later! Another story, Master Dandelion.
Please, tell us more of the Witcher.
Of his return to the Witcher's fortress at the world's end where his brethren awaited. Sing on, dear minstrel.
Why don't one of you fetch a tankard full of mead for our bard, something to soothe his throat? For 'tis Dandelion whose ballads all go straight for the heart. Stop chattering like sparrows, still yourselves and listen.
This evening I'll recount a tale none before have ever heard. Yours truly had his part. One might say I played a key role. Our tale takes us to Vizima, 1 year after the Witcher's famed taming of the Striga. A certain alderman, an enemy of poetry and a stranger to all concepts of love, I might add, had me cast in jail and insisted I be hanged. You see, his wife, a captivating, considerably younger creature, had succumbed to my charm. In my hour of need, as I rotted in my cell, who should appear, if not the Witcher Geralt himself?
My dear Captain, I'll say it again. This bloated minstrel should pay with his head for harming my little blossom.
Gentlemen, I haven't the faintest notion what this is about. I am Master Dandelion, the most esteemed poet in this land, and I insist I am completely innocent.
Shut up, Dandelion. And you, cease your insistence, Counselor. I've been clear. The suspect will remain in custody pending the conclusion of our investigation.
I'm astounded at your obstinacy, Captain. My poor Siegfrieda wails day and night asking when this knave will finally be punished. As an alderman, I must demand...
This is the city jail, not a town council meeting. Now, you'll have to excuse me. Duty demands that I take my leave. Oh, what do you want?
I need to speak to the prisoner.
Dandelion, be my guest. But keep your hands where I can see him, and the conversation short.
Geralt, am I ever glad to see you. How did you find me?
News travels fast. What did you do this time? I mean, people don't get arrested for busking.
The accusations are pure slander.
The alderman doesn't seem to think so.
Well, the alderman is a fat pig with a pea-sized brain. We should hardly expect him to demonstrate understanding for concepts like free love. Luckily, I've always got a backup plan.
Dandelion, the butcher's boy came to say you ordered sirloin steak and chicken livers.
My dear Captain, please don't tell me you thought prison gruel would satisfy me.
Don't overdo it, Dandelion. This was not our deal. That 2,000 orens guarantees you won't hang too quickly. I don't remember talking about luxury accommodations.
These guards have not an ounce of imagination.
2,000 orens? Are you out of your mind, Dandelion?
No need to get riled. I've got it all figured out. The good captain will make sure the alderman doesn't get his way. I'll spend a few days in here, finally get some sleep, let the alderman cool down, and it'll all blow over.
Sounds beautiful. But care to tell me how you got your hands on 2,000 orens?
That, my dear Witcher, is strictly for me to know. Why can't you just trust me, Geralt? All right. If you must know, I borrowed the money from a very trustworthy individual and aim to pay it back as soon as I'm released.
I hope you didn't do anything stupid, though I suspect you might have.
Enough of this chatter. Visiting hours are over.
I long for the day when I find you not in trouble and in a position to help me for a change.
Not my fault this time. I had a really tight plan. See, the alderman is dripping with gold, and he's given his wife full title to all of his, assets.
Dandelion, I really don't feel like listening to how you were going to fleece some married woman.
This from someone who does so well with the fairer sex. Not to pry, but how's Yennefer?
I don't want to talk about it.
Oh, I think I hit a soft spot, ruffled this turkey's feathers. All right, I'm sorry.
Take care of yourself, Dandelion.
What do you want?
What are Dandelion's chances?
Don't you worry. The alderman wanted him to hang, but Dandelion knew who to come to. So he'll be released in a few days. For lack of evidence.
What's that? Captain, something stinks in here. That grate in the floor. Oh, that's bad.
What, you used to breathing perfumed air? The idiots who built this place put the sewer grate in the guard room. Not to worry. Though it doesn't smell as bad in the cells, we make sure the prisoners know just how much we hate being in here with them.
See you.
Are you Geralt of Rivia the Witcher?
What do you want?
Mr. Glover wants to see you soon as possible. I'd advise you to comply if you want to help your friend Dandelion avoid some serious trouble.
Mr. Blubber?
Been away from Vizima for a while, I see. Mr. Glover rules the town. When he tells you to jump, make sure to ask how high. Understand?
What have you done now, Dandelion? All right, let's go see this Glover.
I'm exhausted. I'm dying. I know it.
Mr. Glover awaits downstairs. Just watch out for the wyverns. They're in a bad mood today.
What wyverns? No matter, I'll see for myself.
Well, well, so the Witcher deigns to come and see me after all.
Your man stopped me in the street.
I wonder, what are the chances of surviving a fight against two ravenous wyverns?
Depends who's fighting.
Someone not entirely familiar with a sword, an artist, let's say a minstrel.
So how much does Dandelion owe you?
An even 2,000, and I know he aims to flee the city the moment they release him from jail. He foolishly believes he can outsmart Mr. Glover. My men have asked around. We know he's broke as a newborn beggar. To make matters worse, none in this city are willing to lend to him. I've no gripe with you, Witcher, but frankly, you may be his only chance. So, what'll it be?
If Dandelion doesn't pay his debt, I will.
More reasonable than I thought. Get the coin, quick, plain and simple. I hate to pressure you, but the city jail can be a depressing place. Heard a prisoner recently hung himself by his own bootlaces.
It needn't get that depressing for Dandelion. You have a deal. I'll pay his debt. Call it a side effect of having friends.
You look like a bird just shit in your soup. Conversation not go as planned.
Not the nicest man I've met, no.
Gun Hargus, leader of the Band of Brethren. Me and my friends, well, Glover's no friend of ours. In truth, we're irked the twerp thinks he rules these streets.
Geralt of Rivia, Witcher. Got an offer for me?
Indeed. We heard of your troubles. Well, yours and that likeable scoundrel Dandelion's, and we'd like to help.
News travels fast around here. To what do I owe this unexpected kindness?
Let's say we wouldn't mind seeing Glover humbled. We, as the Band of Brethren, hold something of value, a treasure we're willing to entrust to you, should you prove worthy of our trust.
Well, it sounds a bit complicated, but I'm in no position to turn you down. How do I prove myself worthy?
You need to visit us each in turn. You'll find Grifferin and Gruzel at the tavern, while Navik should be loitering by the cemetery gate. Once you've finished with them, come see me at my smithy. I too will want to test the metal from which you were forged.
This treasure sounds mysterious.
The band of brethren once were 5. The 4 you know of, and Kuna. Toward the end of the war, we were down and broke, and to be blunt, we started ambushing all manner of merchants, mercilessly stripping them of their lot. During one such attack, we robbed a peddler of a strange stone. Kuna, who knew a thing or two, claimed it was magic. He chanted a bit and produced a glowing portal. He believed that we'd find an elven treasure on the other side. The Long-Ears supposedly concealed their valuables in nooks accessed only through portals. Driven by belief, bravery, and probably a bit of greed, Kuna stepped through and never came back.
And you want me to have this stone? Sounds more dangerous than enticing.
You're a witcher, while Kuna was but a scribe who joined the army for adventure. If something does indeed lurk on the other side, I don't doubt you'll manage. And if you find nothing but Kuna and his treasure, we'll take the treasure and bring us our boy. He's got some explaining to do.
All right. I'll see you soon then.
The circus is across town, freak.
I know. They're missing a clown. Sent me looking. You him?
Let me slap that stupid smile off your face. Put up 25 orens and let's get it over with.
I think I'll take you up on that.
That's 2 less teeth.
Don't worry. You look nice.
Here's your coin. Now leave me alone.
Hocus pocus, focus on this. Your mother stands when she wants to piss.
Ah, a challenge. How much?
50 orens to enter.
Get ready.
You're no stranger to fighting.
My mother taught me. What would you say about her now?
Nice lady. Here's your prize.
Grizzle's my name. I fight better than all these pussies put together.
I wager I can take any of these pussies one-handed, you included.
Are you being smart with me? Come here and I'll beat that flapping mouth of yours to a pulp.
Your friend Gunn sent me.
Should have said so from the start. Bare fist boxing's our game. Takes 75 orens to enter.
Actually, I'd be happy to show you how it's done.
Swiving Witcher. You got some quick hands there.
Work on that right hook.
Take your coin and shove off. I hate this day.
Down and out. Make sure to tell Gunn I won, your trust.
Yeah, all right. You're a decent boxer, Witcher. You know, after a good fight, buttermilk helps alleviate the head pain. I landed a few there. Better have some.
Hello, stranger. Anyone ever say you have an intriguing smile?
Funny, I thought I never smiled.
Care to sit down to a game of dice poker with me?
I must warn you I play for keeps, even against beauties like you.
What'll it be, handsome?
You look worried. Something bothering you?
My dear friend claims anyone would be happy to be in my position, but I'm unable to rejoice as long as this bad feeling persists.
Some say you should trust your feelings.
I suppose they're right. I've never been disappointed when I've followed my intuition.
Care to tell me what happened? I'm a witcher. Maybe I can help.
Truly? I can't believe my luck. You see, several days ago, I won an old house. At first I was overjoyed. That is, until I had a strange dream. They say the house is haunted, and I feel it will bring me ill luck. I know it all sounds ridiculous, but on another occasion I won a man's wife.
Some guy bet his wife? Bold.
The mayor, actually, but I handled it well and promptly lost her to another man. But what of my house?
Well, if it is infested, I can probably clear out any visitors. You could then sell it off with a witcher's guarantee.
Splendid! But you must do one thing before I give you the key. You see, a soothsayer recently told me I would be stripped of troubles by one who brought me a turquoise ring.
All right, if you say so. I'll bring you a ring if I find one.
What you want?
I'm looking for work.
Well, look somewhere else.
Bad day?
Fuck off.
Who are you?
I work for Mr. Glover. Familiar with that name? Though soon enough, everyone in this town will know Jeremiah Trick, too.
If you want to be someone, I'd pick an alias. Something people would remember. Jeremiah Trick sounds like something you sweep under the rug.
Fuck off.
See ya.
Welcome to the Hairy Bear. How can I help?
I'm looking for a place to stay. Wouldn't mind some food and a fire to warm my feet by.
You've come to the right place. If you're hungry or thirsty, call a waitress. Rooms are a modest 5 orens.
I'll take a look around if you don't mind.
Yes?
Plan to stay in Vizima for a while?
Get it? There's a war brewing with Nilfgaard, mark my words. They'll be crying out for mercenaries again, and I'll lead them south to the border.
You think the Black Ones will rise after the beating we gave them at Sodden?
They've been burned once, which only means they'll be tempered when the second time comes around. Nilfgaard will not go quietly.
Take care.
Greetings to the honourable gentleman. Peruse at your leisure. You'll not see a finer collection at the royal court.
Pretty impressive.
Should anything catch your eye, feel free to ask. I am your host, Everden of Rind.
Geralt of Rivia, Witcher.
What do you want?
I was looking at your display.
It's a passion. You cannot fathom what people keep in their attics, the priceless historical artifacts they store there. I seek them out, collect them, study them to reveal the times from which they herald.
And anyone's free to see them?
Yes. I decided to give the public access to my collection. Haven't had immense numbers visit yet, but in time, people will come to appreciate the wisdom that issues from history.
I see quite a few monster parts. Impressive.
I continue to expand my collection. Should you find anything that might complete it, bring it to me. I shall reward you generously.
Sure. Where did you get the coin for all this stuff?
I am of the nobility, and my ancestors left me a small fortune. Instead of dashing it away on women and wine, as quite a few of my relatives have done, I decided to do something pro bono publico.
I see quite an array of alchemy substances.
Well, the craft interests me, as do history and the secret sciences. If you happen upon any monster parts, I will gladly purchase them from you.
I'll remember that.
The cemetery and the sewers are potentially good sources of alchemical ingredients. Apparently, post-conjunction relics find both places attractive.
Truly, I never would have guessed.
Forgive me. I forget you are the expert here. Lorothiel has the key to the cemetery.
Who's Lorothiel?
An elven huntress. She agreed to hunt ghouls and bring me what alchemical ingredients she could skin. It's some time since I've seen her, though she lives nearby, having rented the smith's storeroom.
Guess I'll look in on her.
Should you find any monster organelles, bring them to me. I'll pay you well.
What do people think of what you do?
I shall tell you confidentially that in trying to penetrate the many mysteries and unusual aspects of our world, I have made many enemies, even received death threats.
Could be you're getting too close to things someone powerful wants to keep secret.
I believe I have irked a certain clandestine organization, and can only hope that my social position and noble status will protect me from them.
Everton, I found this strange stone. Don't know quite what to make of it.
Let me see. Witcher, you have found one of the 10 Sephiroth, magic-imbued stones fashioned by the gnomes, the eldest of the sentient races. I believe this is the Tipperath.
Gnomes are pretty good at working metal. I'd really love to have one of their Gwihir swords, supposed to be the best in the world.
The little devils believe alchemy is the key to omniscience. The Sephiroth are their mystical stones. What a joy to have the Tipperath in my collection. I'll give you 50 orens for it, and this herb manual.
Great. I'll come by if I find anything else.
What do you want?
Interested in the services of a witcher?
I do purchase alchemy ingredients. 1 oren for drowner and ghoul parts, 3 for organs from owl ghouls and drowned dead, and 6 for anything you skin off a fledder or wraith. I'll double those prices if the parts are cleanly skinned, undamaged.
You want any ready-made potions?
My, sounds like quite an opportunity. Of course, bring me whatever you have. They'll be a fine addition to my collection.
Damn, this is nasty weather.
Depends how you look at it.
Playing optimist. What do you want?
Listen, I'm looking for herbs. Anything growing in the cemetery?
Well, there's bryonia, celandine, verbena, and fool's parsley. Remember to pick the bryonia in daytime. It's liable to be overly moist if picked at night on account of the dew.
I guess you know your herbs.
Grasses, weeds, you know. Some varieties can be good for certain ailments.
Any idea of the monsters I'll find inside?
You really a witcher? All right. Well, there's ghouls, owl ghouls, wraiths, and vampires, like any cemetery.
Quite a selection.
What do you want?
Gunn told me to see you.
Gunn does have some inane ideas, but what can I do, seeing he's my former commander? All right, young man, try to beat me at dice. Let's see what you've got up your sleeve. Well, I'll be an heartless, dizzy-eyed hedge pig. You beat me. Not many have, mind you. Especially when I was young and no one thought to accuse me of cheating, so I played with the weighted dice all the time. Hey!
Make sure to tell Gunn I won. Though how that makes me trustworthy, I'll never know.
Oh, I will. Listen, I had this cane I found once on a thief's corpse. Looked to me like a sorcerer's staff. Maybe you can sell it off to someone, generate some more coin to help out your friend Dandelion.
I'm sure I can make some use of it.
Where did I put that Archangelica? Ah, greetings.
Greetings.
I'm Nurka, priestess of the Great Melitella.
Geralt, Witcher.
What brings you here, Witcher?
I'd hoped to find Lorthiel. I need to talk to her.
This isn't the best time. Lorthiel has a terrible wound on her thigh. I've just come to dress it. Apparently, these things come with her profession.
This is kind of urgent.
Nurka, I'm hardly bedridden, and I'd gladly know why a witcher has come to see me.
This'll only take a moment.
Fine, then. I'll allow the visit. On another note, Witcher, I'd gladly buy any herbs you've gathered. My stock is running dangerously low, and I'm not losing any patience.
Gwynblade.
You know me?
I've heard others tell of you, and you're easily recognizable. Forgive me, but I haven't the strength for prolonged conversation. A ghoul bite. I don't feel too well.
This'll just take a minute.
Yes?
I'm here about the cemetery.
That's where the ghoul got me. Vile place. It's full of necrophages and other post-conjunction beings.
I guess you know a thing or two about monsters. Everton mentioned you supply him with alchemy ingredients, or that you did until recently.
Tell him to be patient. Just a few more days and I'll be out hunting again.
Oh no, my dear. You'll go nowhere. You've a slashed muscle, torn sinews, and he was inches away from rupturing your femoral artery.
The priestess is right. Combating ghouls requires one to be completely fit, and I'm not sure you can rely on that leg of yours just now. What do you say I stand in for you just for a few days?
Reasonable, I think. The wound needs several more days to heal completely. Lorthiel, you must accept that you are not a female witcher and need just as long as other elves to heal.
A diable ep arse. I see you leave me no choice. Very well, Gwynblade. Take my key and enjoy yourself in the cemetery.
What do you want?
Listen, I found this thing. It looks ancient, like a sorcerer's staff.
It cannot be. A bent handle, acacia wood. This is clearly the staff of Jan Becker, the first human to tame the power.
Everton, not to spoil your day, but Becker arrived by boat with the first exiles, and that was a while back. I mean, he was the one to actually harness the natural elements and train the first mages. You know how long ago that was?
Of course I do. But I see no problem. It's the educational potential of the exhibited pieces that counts, not their authenticity. I'll need to make a placard immediately. 50 orens for you, and please accept this ring as a sign of my gratitude for your efforts.
Thanks. Nice bauble. Could be useful.
What do you want?
Yes?
How is life in Vizima?
Non-humans hardly have an easy time of it. My friend Gunn has a smithy, but the city guards incessantly threaten that they'll move him to worse quarters, as they need his workshop for an armorer, a human.
It almost sounds like they're creating a ghetto. Somehow I doubt non-humans will let themselves be relocated to a worse part of town.
I fear you are wrong, Witcher. Though actions of that nature are likely to escalate tensions between the races. I know a certain elf, his name is Yavin. Given the resources, he would jump at the chance of leading the non-humans in an uprising.
Well, I hope that doesn't happen.
And if it were to happen, who would you side with? Intolerant humans or intolerated non-humans?
Neither. I'd stay out of it.
Think through this. There may come a time when you'll be forced to make a choice.
Take care.
What'll it be, handsome?
Still interested in that turquoise ring?
Have you found one?
I believe so.
Oh, beautiful. Thank you. Here's the key. But remember, it's bad luck to enter the house on odd-numbered days. Or is it even-numbered?
Oh, I'm exhausted. That took a ploughing witcher to outdo me.
I think I've proven myself. Give me the key.
You know what? I haven't met anyone who'd suit me in conversation as much as you have any time in the recent past. It almost feels like we're brothers. Because you see, I come from the family of the famous traveller by the Backoisen.
Sergeant, the key.
Geralt, call me Oral. We drank together, which makes you my mate. So this ancestor of mine, the traveller, adventurer really, he kept a journal. It's nothing short of an antique now. It's been in the family for generations.
I've heard of Backoisen. Didn't he discover the Swallow's Tower?
Well, that's him. Geralt, I suddenly feel a terrible longing. Take the journal, my one and only friend. And the key to the sewers. Come here, give us a kiss.
Maybe some other time.
What do you want?
I'm here to fight.
Ready for Lizard? It's 75 Arans to enter.
No need to put this off.
I like that attitude. All right, in the cell you go.
You've a fist of stone, Witcher. I feel sorry for your woman.
The fist is part of the job. I'm not in the habit of beating my woman.
A woman unwhipped gives lots of lip. Go see Ralph to collect your reward.
Congratulations. Your 150 orens and the entrance fee.
That was just a warm-up.
Ready for Rymouth? Takes 125 orens to enter.
Ready.
Get in the cell.
My teeth! Son of a bitch, you knocked my teeth out!
Cut the drama. They were rotten anyway.
Fuck off! Fucking guard has your coin! Don't come round here no more!
Nice fight. Your prize. 250 orens and the entrance fee.
Great. Time for the Rivian.
The Rivian has accepted your challenge. 225 orens and you buy yourself in.
Bet on me, Captain. I'm in.
The Rivian's pretty tough. I wouldn't be so sure if I were you.
Witcher, heard you're having problems with Glover. You help me, and I'll help you. You see, I have to win this fight. Ralph promised to release me if I do.
I don't think I care about your problems. You fighting or not.
You're not really from Rivia, are you, Witcher? Actually, I don't think I care. Be my guest. Throw the first punch. Witcher's spells. Damn the dog.
Be careful. Look too hard at a Witcher and you'll get scabs.
I'm not afraid, bitch. Got plenty as it is. Ralph's got your reward, and deal with Glover yourself.
Rivian defeated fair and good. I'm impressed. Your 450 orens and entrance fee. Ever thought of signing with someone? Me, for instance.
You want me to fight for you? Nah, I don't think so. found a pendant representing Laura Doran. Interested?
Wonderful. A fine piece of work. Laura Doran ep Sheardal in profile. Do you know about her? Quite an unusual tale. Her romance with a human might have changed the fate of both humans and elves.
Yeah, pretty sad story. Instead of uniting the races, it widened the rift between them. Though Laura met her death at the hands of humans, her elven brethren were the first to deliver a blow, condemning her for loving Creganan.
Shame. Damn shame. The pendant is lovely. I'll take it for 50 orens. Might you be interested in a jug of buttermilk? A good peasant brought it. I'd hate to see it go to waste, and I've always found it rather unpalatable.
Thanks. I'll come by if I find anything else.
What do you want?
Got my hands on the journal of a certain traveler.
Let me see. Why, this is the diary of Beivid Backhuizen, the famous peregrinations among magic paths and places. A true rarity.
I heard he was the only human to ever see the famous Swallow's Tower.
There is much to suggest that the Swallow's Tower is a transfer point between worlds. Surely you must know, Witcher, that our world is not the only one. During the conjunction of spheres, our ancestors passed from their former universe into this world,
where they encountered elves, dwarves, and other sentient beings, who they promptly began exterminating like the monsters they found here. They took pleasure in persecuting non-humans, but funnily enough created not entirely human witchers to defend themselves from monsters.
Be that as it may, the journal is very valuable. What would you say to 50 orens and a book about fledders?
That should be useful. Thanks.
How can I help you?
I noticed a vast burned-out ditch behind the temple.
A small hut stood on the site a few weeks ago. The workshop of a young and highly energetic alchemist. He had nowhere to go, so I allowed him to set up in the hut.
Don't see any hut now.
One day I heard a loud explosion. Or perhaps implosion, I can never tell the difference. I suppose one of his experiments went wrong. Now I pray Melitele will take pity on his soul.
Where did you learn about herbs?
I'm a priestess of Melitele, who studied under Mother Superior Neneka at the temple in Ilanda. I know no one who would be a better herbalist than the Mother Superior.
I've been to the temple in Ilander many times, and I know Neneka. I owe her. Neneka treated me after a certain Striga plowed a ditch in my neck.
If you visit her any time soon, be sure to give her the regards of Nurka.
Where would I go to find some more valuable greenery?
Venture into the sewers, and you should find green mold, suent mushrooms, and fool's parsley. While the cemetery is a good place to look for Bryonia, Celandine, and Hellebore, these are worth 6 orens a dose.
Yes, what is it?
I've been wondering, why do you call yourselves the Band of Brethren?
I can't even remember who thought up the name. Might have been Navik. During the Northern Wars, friendly souls were one's only chance of surviving and emerging from that mess with your mind intact.
Were you at Sodden?
They call it a great victory, the place where we broke the Black One's back. But take it from me, gun hardest. Before 10 years are up, the Black Ones will once again cross the Yaruga and serve us up an even bigger melee.
I hope you're wrong.
Hope is something for fools. If you're smart, you'll prepare.
Right.
Yes, what is it?
About these duels.
Have you defeated all the members of the Band of Brethren? Are they willing to trust you?
Still working on that.
Welcome to the Hairy Bear. How can I help?
I'm looking for a place to stay. Wouldn't mind some food and a fire to warm my feet by.
You've come to the right place. If you're hungry or thirsty, call a waitress. Rooms are a modest 5 orens.
I'll take a look around if you don't mind.
Yes?
Oh, not good. I'm seeing trouble. Witcher, you're a good man. A good man.
I win. Now if I can just make it to that bench. You're quite a heavyweight.
All that drinking's made me hungry. Ooh, a cold roast would hit the spot. You care for some?
Oh, yeah. So, I beat all your friends at their games. Though how that proves I can be trusted, I'll never know.
Aye, they all seem to think you're all right. One challenge remains, a classic duel with swords until one of us yields.
You don't stand a chance, Gun. I'm a witcher.
I've always wanted to see one of your kind in action. Come on now, let's see that razor of yours.
All right, let's do this.
Bah, if I could bend and spin like you, the half pirouettes, feints, lunges, pure poetry.
Vesemir's training at Kaer Morhen.
Not a one out there can match a witcher for speed, that's certain. But let's get back to what's important, that treasure.
Right, the treasure.
Take this stone. They say it's magic. In the cemetery, you'll find a place of power. With this stone in hand, you'll be able to pass through it, like through a portal.
What's on the other side?
Don't know, never been. But they say elves hid a vast treasure there. You know the little she-elf, Laura Thiel? She was mighty interested in obtaining our little stone.
So there might be something to this after all. I'll keep my eyes peeled for her.
I truly hope you'll find real treasure there. But beware, treasures are oft well guarded.
Farewell, dwarf.
Farewell, Witcher.
Yes?
I have something that might interest you.
I trust you're not trying to seduce me, Witcher.
Not this time. It's something else. I have a magic stone they say opens a passage to an elven hideout.
How were you able to convince Gunn to surrender it? No matter. The object is worth more to me than you imagine. After all, it might lead to treasures. Artifacts that are part of my heritage.
I'll have to think about it.
What do you want?
I found this old pendant representing Ouroboros.
Ah, Ouroboros. The serpent swallowing its own tail, the symbol of death and rebirth, fate and infinity. It reminds us that each time something ends, something else begins.
So you want to buy it?
It'll be a fine addition to my collection. How does 50 orens sound? Care for some pot roast? Had friends over last night, but the cook simply produced too much.
Thanks. The snake of fortune. It looks like its coils could throttle all those who stray off their path.
Listen, you've done wonders for my collection, and I'd like to reward you somehow. I've been told you're in dire need of money, so please allow me to assist you with these 400 orens.
Whoa, that helps.
Think nothing of it. It's merely a drop in the sea that is the estate my ancestors left me.
Yes?
I've met others who tried to tame wyverns. They all had missing limbs.
Animals sense strength, Witcher. My girls know who their master is.
I don't doubt it.
Insolvent debtors and cheats are their favourites. They become playful as cats, tormenting screaming little victims, pecking out their eyes, tearing away appendages. Oh, a few hours and nothing but a few bone shards left.
About that debt.
Got the money already?
2,000. Take it.
2,000? When Dandelion came by whining for a loan, I clearly remember mentioning it would cost him. I've waited a swiving long time for my money, so sorry, but you'll have to pay me interest.
How much?
1,000 orens. Watch what you say, Witcher. You're stomping on mighty thin ice and I'm underneath waiting for it to crack.
I can agree to this only on condition that this is where the debt ends.
Fine by me. 1,000 orens and the two of you slither out of Vizima.
About that interest.
I
have the 1,000 orens. That makes us even.
So be it. Now get out of my town.
With pleasure.
What do you want?
See you.
Geralt, nice of you to visit a dear friend in need.
I resolved matters with Glover. We need to leave the city pretty quickly.
That's a load off my back, let me tell you. Thanks, Geralt. To be honest, I was not looking forward to expiring in a pool of my own blood down some dark alley.
Later, Dandelion. Put it in a ballad. Now grab your shit and let's get out of town. Actually, we'll hit a bathhouse first. You stink something awful.
Vizima now seemed a hostile shore, so we left the city and roamed the land. We later learned of Glover's untimely passing. His wyverns had turned on him, so death was, alas, swift. No one mourned him. No one.
Hey, come on. Get them shackles off him. Poor sod can't eat proper.
Dunno. I'm not sure I like that. What if he runs for it? He's worth a heap of coin.
Ah, bollocks. Been hauling him a week, hasn't tried a thing. Why he up and bolt now? Matter of fact, got to thinking. What did a sweet, gentle chap like him do to get the Queen of Zerrikania so riled?
She's a shrew, that's what. Queen and witch in one. Worst of both worlds.
Enough about her. What do you say to one more of your tales? While we toss down some cards.
Ah, why not? And since you mentioned one queen,